pick people that you can truly trust, and it's in the area of certified financial planners. Who do you trust and who do you not trust? There's so much information about there, and Jeff's one of the top financial planners in the Metroplex here. Spectrum Financial Group is who he's with, and we'd like to welcome you to the show, Jeff.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Jeff, so my first question is what I call the Amy question.
Oh, boy.
Okay? If you're 40 and broke, what's your prognosis look like when you're 60?
Probably not what you would want it to look like. Most of the time, we would look at that and say, better late than never. But you're going to be working probably a lot longer than you would like to.
First of all, I'm not 40. I want to clear that up right now, Jeff.
Okay.
I'm a solid 36.
I was going to say 35.
Thank you.
And why haven't people made money more of a priority in their lives? Do you think that they just use hope, as Rodney says, hope as their investment strategy?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. A lot of it is, we spend too much. All of us could save more. It's part of being in this country. It's part of keeping up with the Joneses, and it's just not as fun to save and stash away dollars for future you, and it's a lot more fun to spend it now.
Can we really start small, Jeff, when it comes to investing?
You can. I think that's a great question. That's a big misunderstanding. I think people think they need to have a lot of money before they can invest, and there are certain platforms where that's true. But the fact of the matter is, most fund companies will let you start with $50 a month.
Yeah, and think
about it doesn't have to be material.
Yeah, think about what you have, Bill. Think about how much you spend on your cell phone bill.
Yeah,
a month.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Right? And what if you took that amount of money for every single month, and you also put that?
So get rid of the cell phone, or just try to match the...
No, try to match what you spend on something like that. I mean, You got to think about these things. And a lot of it's through education, Jeff. There's not enough. I don't think, money is a big educational problem in America because we don't learn about our credit. We don't learn about investing. We don't learn about these things. But what makes rich people rich and what makes wealthy people wealthy? Because there is a difference, I feel, between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you and I talked about that, and I think there's a big difference. People think when they hear rich, they're probably talking about income. And net worth is more of a function of what you do with that income. And we have a lot of clients that you would consider rich, but are going to be working forever because they're not saving. The general rule we work towards is 25% of your gross income. If you save that for a long period of time and you're smart with it, with how you invest it and minimize taxes along the way, you're going to get where you want to go. But just because the income is high doesn't mean that they're doing that, and the net worth can be zero or even negative.
Yeah, and Jeff, one of the big transformational wealth and division of wealth is divorce. How many times do you see where one spouse may not know one thing about the people's finances, and they have millions of dollars?
Mm-hmm. It's most of the time. Usually in any couple, there is one that is in the detail and knows all of it, and the other that is not and is more, quote unquote, your spender. And that can be either party. We've seen both, but that spender is the one that is really worried in that situation. A lot of times they don't have a clue where to start. They don't have a budget. They don't know how much they can spend and how to save and how to invest, and they're lost. And it's a financial fears only add to the stress, in that situation.
Well, and during this divorce process, let's say somebody's not used to having money, or there's money that's been in a 401k, and all of a sudden somebody gets, $200,000 or $500,000, and they don't have a clue about investing. How do people turn over to their financial advisor, and how do people turn over to you to invest this money? And what do you recommend for people that find themselves in a situation where they've never had a financial person before, but now all of a sudden they got this piece of money?
Mm-hmm. Ideally, we start with the small stuff, with the budget and cash flow, and helping them to figure out what do you have coming in, what's going out, how does that look. And in a perfect world, we really don't want to have to withdraw any of this newfound money, of course, because then you've got taxes and penalties. And so, that's usually second or third down the list of things that we're tackling. We really want to start with the fundamentals and get them on some kind of savings plan. We talked about earlier, the amount is not as important as having some kind of plan. It can be, $500 a month. I'm just going to create some kind of plan and put 100 here, put 200 there. But when you have that infrastructure, we find that it allows you to focus on that more down the road, and easier to grow when new money comes in. You get a raise, you get a bonus or whatever, because now you have a plan, and hopefully somebody that you can trust is helping you manage that plan.
Yeah, a lot of the people do get bonuses, and they do get commissions, and if you do take a portion of that bonus or a portion of that commission and make it very disciplined, maybe it's 10% of your bonus or 20% of your bonus or 30% of your commissions or something like that, you sweep that, because now that you've made it so easy, Jeff, with sweeps, that you could just all of a sudden, if I picked up the phone and called you and said, hey, Jeff, I want you to take, $10,000 out of my bank account right now, and you could just sweep it into your investment account. It's that easy. It's not like it's a lot of money transfers. It's a phone call to somebody like yourself.
Right, and when you say sweep, even better would be a monthly draft, some kind of auto thing that doesn't even require you to pick up the phone and make that call, but is automated. And what we found is that you'll feel those kind of things for maybe a month or two, and you get used to it and you forget about it, and now you've kind of flipped, your budget upside down, and you're paying yourself first, and that's the key. You got to have a system, and it's got to be automated, or else, we get busy, and it's a lot easier to just spend.
I think we should come up with a one-day budget.
I'm on board with that. A one-day budget. Talk to me
you got to
about
start
that.
baby steps.
Yeah. What's the one-day budget?
You're allowed. Think of how much you're allowed to spend for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Well, everything, right? So there's gas money, there's appointments, there's, everything.
I think you should. Like
one-day
nails.
budget?
Mm-hmm.
Nails? Yeah. I could be the cubicle next to Susie and just get a manicure, right?
Take care of it yourself. Do a little landscaping right there next door to the
I think the big key here, Jeff, is take action. That's what people need to do. I mean, if you start somewhere, start small, start somewhere, and get educated and work with people like yourself. So when you're out there, there's no more excuses of, I can't do it, I don't have the money. It's finding the way to say, I can do it, saving the money, and working with somebody like yourself to invest that money in.
We would agree. It's about systems, and it's about finding somebody that you feel like you can trust, and you shouldn't have to sift through all this information. There's no shortage of it. So find somebody you can trust that's going to listen and build some kind of customized plan to help you do that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Jeff's like the fastest emailer in the world.
Yeah.
You email him. I mean, that guy will email you back in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's important. That is important.
Yeah, especially in your line of work, because time is really money, isn't it?
Well, it's that, but it's more than that. It's being accessible. If you've got an advisor that's not that you kind of feel is untouchable, and you get return calls from the assistant, and I think people deserve more than that. They're looking for more than that, and it's it kind of gets back to the relationship.
Well, I'm going to blow up your phone now, Jeff, and now that I know that you emailed that quick.
All right, Jeff. Jeff is with Spectrum Financial Group. How's everybody find you, sir?
Office here in North Dallas. My phone number is 972-455-4360.
Or you can call us at 1-800-EXPRESS, and we can give you more information about Jeff and his phone numbers. Jeff, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye.
When we come back, the coworker next to you, what are they doing that's bugging?